Welcome to today's training. As you can see from the title, we're going to talk about why dumb people outsmart you and steal your success. Quick overview of what we're going to be seeing today: the intelligence trap, the bias towards motion, confidence loop, feedback advantage. And then we'll review everything, and then we'll give you a couple of action items to complete this week or this month. Let's get started. So most people aren't losing because they're dumb. They're losing because they hesitate. Intelligence often works against you. The more aware you are of the risk, the more likely you are to freeze. Smart people convince themselves that hesitation is a strategy, but usually it's fear disguised as logic. You probably talked yourself out of more opportunities than the world ever took from you. You tell yourself, I'm not ready. I need to learn a bit more. I will start when it feels right. But that feeling never comes. The people you call reckless started before they were ready. And that's exactly why they learned faster than you did. You believe that there's an invisible threshold where you finally become qualified. You picture a line where you magically feel ready to start the podcast, pitch the client, or post a video. That line doesn't exist. There are no gatekeepers. The only permission slip is the one that you sign yourself. Intelligence creates self-doubt. The smarter you are, the more flaws you see. You're painfully aware of how far you are from mastery, and that awareness becomes weight that you carry everywhere. You can see cracks in your own work, and you assume everyone else sees them too. The truth is, they don't. They are too busy looking at their own. You measure yourself against experts who have been at it for decades, not from beginners who just started. You scroll through polished results and forget how ugly the previous versions were. Dumb people do not have that problem. They compare themselves only to their previous attempt. That's why they improve faster. That's why I'm stumbling across my words. And that's okay, because we're still learning. That is the Dunning-Kruger effect in motion. People who know little overestimate themselves, and people who know a lot underestimate themselves. And the irony of that is brutal. The ones least qualified feel most confident, while the most competent stay quiet and stuck. The world doesn't reward the most prepared, it rewards the most visible. You think that you'll be recognized for your potential, but potential is not marketable. Output is. Dumb people aren't waiting to be discovered. They're already posting, pitching, and promoting. When you don't know what can go wrong, you move without friction. Dumb people act out of blindness, not bravery. But that blindness becomes an edge. While you're busy analyzing variables, they are collecting data through action. They act first and fix later. Their first launch flops, so they learn. Their second launch improves, and so they grow. You, on the other hand, are still in version 0.1 of your plan, trying to predict outcomes instead of testing them. The market rewards motion, not forecast. Real experts know enough to be cautious, which makes them slow. Amateurs move fast because they are too naive to see the depth of the problem. And by the time the experts take the first step, the fool already owns the attention, the audience, and half of the market share. People buy conviction before they buy correctness. They follow confidence, not IQ. If someone speaks with certainty, the brain equates that certainty with competence. That's why fake gurus thrive and quiet professionals fade in the background. And that was me for 37 years of my life. In every domain, business, art, relationships, certainty is louder than skill. If you aren't visible, You're invisible, no matter how brilliant your work is. Dumb people are visible by accident, and smart people remain invisible on purpose, and then they call it humility. Only one of them gets paid. So if you need to read that again, please feel free. The smarter you are, the more likely you are to isolate. You tell yourself that you are focusing, but isolation kills feedback. Dumb people broadcast everything. They get data early, they learn in public, and every piece of feedback compounds their competence. Meanwhile, your silence compounds your doubt. Confidence isn't something that you earn after you succeed. It is something that you decide before you do. Stupid people do not wait for proof. They move first. Confidence is not arrogance. It is simply refusing to let uncertainty make your decision. So we have action that leads to evidence, that leads to belief, that leads to more action. Every move produces evidence that you are capable. That evidence rewires your identity. Belief grows, and with it, your willingness to take bigger risks. The loop reinforces itself until movement becomes your default. By the way, everything I'm talking about these are the same concepts that I talked about in my book on Fuck Your Thinking. They're just formatted a little differently. Each time you act while you're afraid, your nervous system learns that fear isn't fatal. The discomfort fades faster than you expect, and after enough reps, risk feels like home. That's how confidence is built, through friction, not through affirmations. I don't know if you remember the way you learned to ride a bicycle, same exact thing here. Dumb people do not romanticize failure, they normalize it. They fail so often that it stops meaning anything. And this is why they appear fearless. Their secret is not courage, it is repetition. You can't build thick skin by staying safe. Confidence doesn't live in your head, it lives in the arena. Each invisible action, every post, pitch, or project adds to your internal database of proof. The more you show up, the more solid your self-belief becomes. Private wins feel good, but the public ones rewire your identity. Eventually, you stop chasing confidence and start embodying it. You no longer need to feel ready because you've proven that readiness is irrelevant. You act first, refine later. That is the loop that dumb people enter by accident, but you can choose to enter this one on purpose once you finish this training. The Dunning-Kruger curve is a staircase more than it is an obstacle. Everyone climbs it. Blind confidence, harsh reality, humble rebuilding, and quiet mastery. The only difference is how long you stay stuck on each step. Dumb people do not wait for permission to publish, to pitch, or to sell. They give themselves permission through action. Smart people wait for validation that never comes. Confidence is self-issued. If you're waiting for approval, you're outsourcing your potential. Your first version will suck, and the second version will suck as well. That's their job. It's supposed to be clumsy. It's supposed to be awkward and incomplete. You get to version 10 only by releasing versions 1 through 9. Perfection is just procrastination wearing expensive clothes. Being scared creates accountability. When you put your work in public, you stop negotiating with yourself. You start refining faster because now the world is watching. That pressure is priceless because it forces evolution. Motivation is unreliable. Systems aren't. Build structures that force movement even when you don't feel like it. Post every day, make 5 hours a week, review the work every Friday. You don't need more discipline, you just need fewer decisions. Actions rewire the brain faster than belief. Each time you move, your brain logs a win and releases dopamine. And over time, you become chemically addicted to progress. Comfort starts to feel dangerous, and growth becomes the new baseline. Stupid people use the crowd as a mirror. They get feedback early, adapt publicly, and earn trust through transparency. Smart people hide until they're perfect. but perfection cannot be trusted. It is too polished to be real. Authentic imperfection always wins attention. A quick review of the most important points that we've covered. Intelligence without motion becomes self-sabotage. The world rewards conviction before competence. Confidence is not found, it is trained through exposure. Failure is a feedback system, not a verdict. Visibility compounds faster than skill. The people that you call dumb or stupid are just willing to look stupid longer than you. And the only qualification for success is movement. A couple of action items that you can do this week. I'm sorry, I'm getting attacked by mosquitoes. I'm glad we're at the end of the document. So pick one uncomfortable action that you have delayed and do it today. Post it, ship it, send it. The goal is not perfection, it is participation, however small it might be. Next, run a 30-day experiment. Produce something every day and publish it. Ignore the metrics, just focus on the reps. When fear shows up, remember, dumber people are already winning. Use that as proof that readiness is irrelevant. List the areas of your life or business where you're invisible by choice. Visibility is leverage. Stop hiding your value. All right, if you like this style of training, let me know. I will do more of them. I enjoy doing them. This is not too complicated. If you want the document, just comment, document, and I'll send it over, the Notion document. And that's it. I'll see you in the next one.